What's up, people? It's your man E. I'm doing my dishes here, and I just was listening to one of my own self-help videos that I just filmed. I actually liked it. But I want to talk about Sadguru. He's this figure you see on YouTube. They've obviously spent a bunch of money blasting his ads everywhere because it seems like if you even have a brain in your head and you're even remotely interested in spirituality or motivation or something, Sadguru is going to be popping up on your screen telling you, oh, check out Sadguru. He answers this question, he answers that question. Well, this isn't the first time that somebody like Sadguru has come to the United States and, tried to share the teachings from India. The things he's sharing are nothing new. They're nothing unique to him. If you went to India or you study Indian religious traditions or philosophical traditions, you'll see that all the ideas he's presenting are they're pretty common ideas in Indian philosophy. So for him to kind of get up there and put on the whole robe and the funny hair and the big beard and the hat and kind of stand up there like, oh, I'm this wise man, I'm just so enlightened, like he spent 30 years sitting in a cave or something or helping out the poor. It's just not true. And furthermore, the guy is a dick. He's just a dick. A lot of his videos are just him being a jerk to people. Why? Because that gets a lot of views on YouTube. So it's like not only is he just presenting information that's pretty available, but then he's also kind of like promoting himself by showing videos of him putting people down in person. Now, yes, this is a video putting down Sadguru, but I don't have any problem putting down people that are putting down other people, but I'm not going to put down somebody that's not putting people down. That's crazy. So I think it's tough because, a lot of uninformed people, they see this guy. He has this certain look, and people say, oh man, look at him. He looks wise. He looks like a wise man from India. And yeah, he purposefully is dressing that way so that he can have that effect on people. So I think, there's a lot of great teachings over there in India, but if you know anybody who's been to India and spent an extensive long period of time there, or more importantly, if you know someone who's grown up there, they will tell you most of these spiritual teachers, they don't help the communities really. There's a lot of charlatans out there. There's a lot of gurus getting people's money, getting people's donations to build this temple or to build a spiritual center or to fund their trip, around the world. And there's not really that many that are actually really helping the poor, because if anybody doesn't know already, India must have one of the biggest poverty, homeless people problem in the entire fucking world. I mean, other than probably the Middle East and Africa, India's fucked up. Like, anybody who's been to India could tell you there's just children begging on the side of the road for food. They're not trying to get money, they're just trying to get food. So, people like Sadguru, they just make me sick because they come from a super poor place. They don't spend their energy over there trying to help people. No, instead, they bring themselves over to the United States because that's where they can find people with money, they can find people with political influence, and they could create a little mini spiritual empire for themselves. And yeah, go back to India, build a big compound, and charge people to come over there and stay at their temple. And in one video I watched, you have this lady confronting Sadguru, like, hey, your organization has this land. Uh-oh. My stove broke. Like, your organization has this land. You basically stole it from these people, Sadguru. It was community land that you took. And, Sadguru basically just completely invalidates this woman and is an asshole. He's like, no, that's not true. We didn't take any land from anybody. That's a lie. She's literally stating facts. She's like, look, Sadguru, it's right here in this information. This is what happened. And he's like, no, that didn't happen. So he's a dick. And it's unfortunate that we're in such a spiritual vacuum here in the United States and people are so hopeless. People are so looking for something new and they honestly are looking for a way to relieve their suffering. But instead of really finding that, you find some guy like Sadguru that's just presenting this information, but then he's presenting it in a way where, like I said, he's kind of presenting it like, oh, this is my information, these are my teachings, this is my wisdom. No, Sadhguru, it's not. All you're presenting is just common Indian philosophical teachings. And you had Paramahansa Yogananda, you had Osho, you had Maharaji or Maharishi, who the Beatles used to follow. And also, there was a guy even in the 1920s that came to the World's Fair in Chicago to talk. This is not the first time that somebody's come from India, and you've even had white people that go over to India and learn these things and then come back and they're like, I'm so wise now. I have these teachings I understand, and I don't poop, I don't fart, I don't pick my nose anymore, I definitely don't masturbate. I'm pretty much not even a human anymore. I'm pretty much like some sort of god that's just walking around on planet Earth. Although I can't fly, and I still need to manipulate people to get money. But, you know, Paramahansa Yogananda is like that. You read his first book, Autobiography of a Yogi, you're like, holy shit, this guy's talking about levitating, this guy's talking about all this crazy shit, people having superpowers. And then you read his second book, I think it's like what do you call it? His interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. You start reading that book, and then you're just like, oh my god, bro, like, it's just a bunch of crazy bullshit. Like, I'm not learning how to levitate, I'm not learning how to fly, I'm not learning how to make food appear from my hand like the guy in the story. No, like, you just want me to buy your other book, and you want me to sign up for your, like, now, you know, online Paramahansa Yogananda Kriya Yoga course. It's like, oh, you got to do the Kriya Yoga, which means you got to sign up for the yoga, and you got to give us money. And then it's just like, come on, dude. It's just another fucking system that's just holding the carrot there in front of people's faces, getting people to keep moving and keep yearning and keep hungering for things. But they're not really giving people anything. So I'm going to give you something. If you watch this video, I don't know what that is, some hair in my mouth. I got a pube in my mouth last night when I was going down to my girlfriend. That's never fun. You're trying to pleasure your girlfriend or your wife, then you got a pube in your mouth. It's in your throat. You don't want to stop, but that pube is in there, and you got to take that pube out. What do? You know, that's real life. You got to focus on reality. So my little tidbit of information is you don't need to look to any teacher, you don't need to look to any book, you don't need to look to any figure that other people have all acknowledged is the best. You need to look to people who are actually living in their community and working, and you can see based on the way they treat other people in their community who they are. You could see based on how hard those people work. Are they doing things to help others, expecting nothing in return? Are they really teaching people how to relax and love themselves and accept themselves as they are and be compassionate with other people? Or are they just filling people with a lot of ideas and a lot of thinking systems that essentially keep us limited? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Because so often what we see is these teachers, and that's why I started this channel, because I look on YouTube, I'm trying to find teachings. They're not like, they're just sharing information. They're not, in my opinion, really teaching. Because a real teacher leads by example, leads by the life that they live and who they are and how they present themselves on a day-to-day basis. It's not from some knowledge that they have that they divvy and dish out slowly over time for a piece rate or to get views on social media. No, a real teacher is somebody who is leading through the way that they live, through being compassionate, through being sensitive, maybe through being strong. maybe through being deviant, maybe through being a rebel. But it's definitely not this guy in a fucking fancy clothes and funny hair getting up there pretending to be some fucking wise man when he's really just a dickhead. And if you watch enough of his videos, he's a jerk. He's not compassionate. I don't have any respect for somebody who's just goes around like, look at this video, Sadguru shuts this person down. Look at this video, Sadguru makes this person like an idiot, looks like an idiot. His channel is putting those videos out. They're appealing to this fucked up part of us that wants to see somebody put somebody down, that wants to see somebody make somebody feel like an idiot, that wants to see somebody feel like shit. Why are you doing that? If you're really trying to help the world, stop doing that. Because what I think is we need to stop thinking, oh, I know things, they don't. I'm smart, they're dumb. I'm the good person, they're the bad person. I'm beautiful, they're ugly. I'm in shape, they're fat. I'm a vegan, they eat meat. I'm this, they're that. Because all that's doing is creating more distinctions and division in this world that's already extremely divided and has fucking problems. What we really need to do is help ourselves understand how do we really relax, really shift our perspective, and be compassionate and sensitive to ourselves and others, and not have our main way of navigating this world be these very limited, confined systems of blocking off the world into those who know and those who don't know. Because anybody who has been on some intense spiritual path, possibly, more than likely, has had some very intimate relationship that it has destroyed. You know, you think you're so wise, go hang out with your parents for a weekend. Go hang out with one of your siblings that doesn't think the same way as you for a weekend. Go have a boss or work a real job where you got to deal with people that don't think the same as you all the time. How do you deal with that? That's what I want to know. I don't want to just keep blowing up my ego of, oh my God, I'm so wise because I found this damn dude on YouTube and I watched his videos and everybody else is dumb. Fuck that. No. That tree out there might be more wise than me. That rock right there might be more wise. My dog might be more wise. A fucking turtle could be more wise than me and teach me things I could never even know. You know, the most confused and the most troubled people have taught me the most. I picked up a homeless girl one time on the side of the road. She was crazy, addicted to drugs. I brought her into my house. I gave her clothes. I gave her food. I told her, you can stay here as long as you need to. You don't have to do anything. I just want to give you a safe place to live. And she flipped the fuck out. I had to call the cops on her. She went crazy. But I learned so much. She tested my beliefs. And what did I see? My beliefs were just beliefs. They weren't based on reality. They weren't based on being. They were based on thinking. I got the craziest dog I ever met in my life. I adopted her. I thought I was going to show that dog love. I was going to show that dog compassion. That dog just fucking bit me. It's been 3 years. Because that dog taught me. Those are just words. Don't mistake awareness, being conscious, being present, for a bunch of thoughts and ideas in your head. A bunch of attachments to opinions, attachments to feelings, attachments to the way you think it should be or it ought to be or it must be. Don't confuse those two things. Awareness, mindfulness, is not the same as being good, as being nice, as helping, as loving. You could be loving somebody and be actually being a total asshole. So much damage is done in the name of love, in the name of peace or wisdom or Jesus or Muhammad. So much damage is done because people aren't practicing the most important thing, which is being aware, listening, being present, doing difficult things, and then see what happens. So that's just it. Little morning rant here. But I like my rants and I like listening to them. So I'm going to keep making them because it's the only motivational spiritual wisdom stuff I can seem to find that when I listen to it, I actually am somewhat satisfied. I'm not left now yearning more. Oh, if I just do this, then, oh, if I just, then, oh, well, I know this, but they don't. Well, if I show them, then they'll know. It's like, fuck that. No, stop all those things. Okay? So remember, Church of Dog, love yourself, be yourself. You can't not be yourself. Work hard. Don't always take the easy route. Be compassionate. Be mindful. Try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Realize you can't put yourself in other people's shoes. Very often, they're just too different. So try to see that as some aspect of yourself. Try to see that as some part of yourself, showing yourself something. Try to see what the lesson is you can learn. And not just a lesson of, oh, they're dumb. Try to really see what the lesson is. Do not seek the truth. Only cease cherishing opinions. Okay, folks, I got to get to work. I got to do some shit. I got to make money. But I love you for listening to my video, so thank you.